Prime Minister assigns 2025 tasks for planning and investment sectors. And we'll take a look at the efforts to preserve ancient ceramic villages in the Central Highlands. In our world news, U.S. missile defense system intercept Houthi attack on Israel.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good afternoon. It is 3 p.m. local time, and you're watching VTV News. I'm Huyền Trân with the top stories. Now, at a conference reviewing 2024 and devising tasks for 2025, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính praised the achievements of the planning and investment sectors. The government leader highlighted the sector's key contributions over nearly 80 years, particularly in national protection, strategic planning for innovation, and establishing investment as a traditional driver of growth. The Prime Minister directed the sector to focus on the apparatus. The planning and investment sector must spearhead innovative thinking, strengthen institutions, attract investment for digital and green transformation, develop circular and night economies, and establish national databases. For 2025, the Prime Minister outlined key priorities, including developing scenarios for accelerated growth, achieving breakthrough developments and double-digit growth, while focusing resources on public investment. The Industrial Production Index rose 8.4% in the first 11 months of this year compared to the same period last year. The processing and manufacturing sector led this growth at 9.7%, exceeding the industry average. Based on these results, the Ministry of Industry and Trade has set a goal of boosting the Industrial Production Index by 9 to 10% in 2025. And to achieve this goal, the ministry will implement supportive policies for enterprises, including assistance with taxation, capital access, infrastructure development, and research and development. A groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of infrastructure of the headquarters of state management agencies was held on Friday at Long Thanh Airport. The ecosystem includes many specialized inspection agencies in charge of import and export goods, as well as entry and exit luggage at the airport. And as part of the project, the infrastructure will be built on a scale of over 16,000 square meters, with a total investment of $13.2 million. It is expected to be completed before December 31st, 2025. Long Thanh International Airport is a key national project, and its first phase will meet a capacity of 25 million passengers per year and 1.2 million tons of cargo per year. The One Commune, One Product, or OCOP program, launched by the Prime Minister in 2018, has seen a strong implementation in Hanoi. Nearly 70% of Hanoi's OCOP products have achieved 4-star ratings, compared to the national average of just over 30%. This success shows that Hanoi is excelling in both the quantity and quality of its OCOP products.
Snail noodles, a beloved dish among Hanoians, has earned an OCOP 4-star rating. While its rich flavor remains comfortingly familiar, the dish stands out for its unique production process, carefully sourced ingredients, and high restaurant standards. What was once simple street food has evolved into a cultural experience.
Snail noodles offer people a taste of authentic Vietnam. I consider it my responsibility to preserve this dish.
Many of Hanoi's OCOP are revitalizing traditional products by upgrading production lines and applying technology. This production line can pack 6,000 aluminum cans per hour, replacing plastic shells and extending shelf life to 2 years. The GMP standard line ensures that 4-star OCOP products meet strict market standards.
As consumers increasingly seek convenient and safe products, Investing in modern production lines has become essential for ensuring product safety.
Hanoi's OCOP products have found new growth opportunities through technological innovation and production adjustments. In the year's final months, the drying yard was filled with goods exported to the U.S. Storage boxes woven from forked ferns are popular with Western customers for their natural materials.
We must prioritize our reputation. Whether the output is small or large, maintaining it is key to securing long-term orders.
Both producers and management agencies have made significant strides in promoting OCOP products. In August, the Hanoi Department of Agriculture and Rural Development organized the Hanoi Vietnam Pavilion at the Formex Sweden Handicraft Fair, creating opportunities to export Hanoi's OCOP products to Sweden, Northern Europe, and beyond.
In addition to existing policies, we will conduct surveys to propose solutions, especially policy mechanisms to support product development, production, and consumption linkages.
Hanoi is striving to be a leader in OCOP product exports. The city completed its OCOP program for 2021-2025 a year early, with over 2,800 products, more than any other region in the country. This success highlights balanced, swift development across various product groups, with careful attention paid to every potential product.
Vietnam's coffee exports have hit a new milestone, surpassing $5 billion in value for both the recent crop season and the year. The country's total export value of agriculture, forestry, and fishery products in 2024 is estimated at $62.5 billion, and of which coffee contributes $5.5 billion of this total, with exports reaching 1.3 million tons. The surge in coffee export value is largely driven by significant price increases. Coffee has now become the third agricultural product to exceed the $5 billion mark, after fruits and vegetables and rice. It has also shown the highest price growth among Vietnam's major export commodities. Export prices have been trending upward, driving domestic coffee prices to record highs. Vietnamese coffee products now command $5 per kilogram, and many families are celebrating as the higher incomes promise a more prosperous Lunar New Year.
This woman manages a 3.4-hectare coffee farm. Her family expects to harvest nearly 10 tons of coffee beans this season. With selling prices now 3 times higher than in previous years, her household has overcome the financial hardships of past unstable harvests. She now feels confident about reinvesting in her coffee farm for future seasons.
Although this year's harvest wasn't that great, the high selling prices make me very happy. I now have the money to renovate our coffee plants and improve our family's income.
As a coffee powerhouse in Vietnam, Dak Lak Province boasts over 210,000 hectares of coffee farms, producing an average of more than 500,000 tons annually. For the 2024-2025 season, production is projected to drop by 5 to 10% due to severe drought. Nevertheless, the surge in coffee prices has left growers feeling optimistic as their incomes rise significantly.
My family has over 2,500 square meters of coffee plants, yielding more than 2 tons this year. The price increase brings us so much joy. This Tet, my family and the community will celebrate in better conditions.
Agricultural experts note that if coffee prices remain stable at $5 per kilogram and stay consistent in the coming years, the lives of ethnic farmers will improve significantly. This stability could also encourage farmers to invest more confidently in coffee cultivation.
Meanwhile, farmers in Đông Tháp province are working on their 2024 to 2025 winter-spring rice crop. They started earlier this year due to favorable rice prices. With the Tet holiday approaching, excitement fills the air.
Spanning 650 hectares, this paddy field is the earliest rice harvest area in the Mekong Delta province of Đông Tháp. The sunny weather has created ideal conditions for harvesting.
The weather this year is so nice. It's cool with mild sunshine and a gentle breeze. I've earned enough money to celebrate a proper Tet.
Harvesting rice just before Tet and making money for the celebration, this makes everyone happy and excited.
On the morning of December 24th, OM18 rice commanded a market price of 0.33 USD per kilogram, with direct sales to companies earning farmers an extra 0.45 USD per kilogram. To prevent harvest congestion, Agricultural Service Cooperative 2, which oversees 1,550 hectares in the commune, implemented a staggered planting schedule.
We've ensured all conditions, including cutting machines and straw rolling machines. By harvesting early, farmers can earn a considerable income. This harvest alone can make them 197 USD richer.
During this winter-spring season, the province has cultivated more than 168,000 hectares of rice, with farmers across many districts planning to harvest over 20,000 hectares before Tet. Thanks to robust yields and favorable prices, farmers can look forward to a joyful and prosperous Lunar New Year 2025.
Overseas remittances to Vietnam have reached $16 billion in 2024, according to the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Bùi Thanh Sơn. This figure is equivalent to the 2023s, when the country's remittances reached a record high after a period of slow growth due to COVID-19. The Deputy Prime Minister also said that Vietnam will continue to improve policies and laws, creating conditions for overseas Vietnamese to connect more closely with the country and implementing long-term comprehensive measures to care for and develop the overseas Vietnamese community. Many policies and measures to simplify administrative procedures are also being implemented, making it easier for overseas Vietnamese to return to the country to live and invest in business. The government is promoting the application of information technology in activities that boost community connection and training, and supporting the development of Vietnamese resources abroad. Coming up next on VTV News. Mountain communities build resilience against natural disasters. And we'll take a look at the efforts to preserve ancient ceramic villages in the Central Highlands. You're watching VTV News Live. With cold air increasing, strong northeasterly winds and high waves continue to batter the Vietnamese coastline. The northernmost parts of the East Sea, including the Hoàng Sa Islands, are experiencing the strongest winds at level 7, with gusts reaching up to level 9. Waves in these areas are reaching 4 to 6 meters high, creating very rough sea conditions. The Gulf of Tonkin, the coastal areas from Quảng Trị to Cà Mau, and the central and southwestern part of the East Sea are also facing strong winds of level 6 to 7, with gusts up to level 8 to 9. And on land, heavy rain and thunderstorms are expected to continue from Thừa Thiên Huế to Khánh Hòa provinces, with some areas experiencing rainfall exceeding 70 millimeters. There is a risk of localized flooding and landslides. Natural disasters have grown increasingly severe and unpredictable, and when Typhoon Yagi hit in September, it destroyed or severely damaged more than 27,000 houses. In Bai province was among the hardest hit areas, suffering tremendous losses from both the typhoon and its aftermath. Yet the resilient people of In Bai are now adapting proactively to face a challenging future.
A devastating landslide destroyed this woman's house. Nestled at the foot of a hill, the property was both her home and livelihood. Livestock and machinery were swept away in the disaster.
The landslide came down from the hill, destroying everything in its path. We've borrowed money to build a new house.
This commune houses around 100 households spread across 5 villages. The area's steep slopes make it vulnerable to landslides. Local authorities responded swiftly, assessing the situation and planning support for affected residents.
We've inspected all high-risk areas prone to landslides and implemented evacuation plans to protect lives and property.
Super Typhoon Yagi triggered nearly 1,000 landslides across Yanbai province, displacing families in urban areas once considered safe. In Yanbai City, more than 400 households were forced to evacuate. Efforts are underway to stabilize landslide-prone areas and help residents rebuild belt.
We need long-term solutions, including creating detailed maps that identify areas at high risk of natural disasters, especially flash floods and landslides. These maps will help guide infrastructure investments to ensure safety.
In the wake of the disaster, life has changed dramatically. Through proactive measures and collaboration, locals are working to prevent and minimize future losses, building a foundation for a more secure and resilient future.
The Highland Weekly Market is a cultural gathering place that strengthens the bonds among the ethnic groups in Lai Châu province. It is also a venue for trading and exchanging local products and has become a popular spot for weekend gatherings of the local communities.
Santhang Weekly Market is both a trading hub and a cultural gathering point for local ethnic groups in the northwestern mountains. Held every Thursday and Sunday, people from surrounding areas, including the Gi, Hmong, and Thai ethnic groups, come early to sell mountain products like honey, crops, and traditional crafts.
We have implemented planning and allocated resources for infrastructure development, with a special focus on activities that promote the traditional cultural values of the ethnic groups living in the market area.
People gather around the stalls, enjoying hot meals while chatting joyfully, creating a vibrant and authentic Highland culinary scene.
I earn quite a bit from selling, enough to cover my daily expenses.
Santhang Weekly Market is not just a place for trading, but also a community gathering point. People from distant villages come together to share joy, exchange stories, and preserve valuable cultural traditions across generations.
This market is truly impressive as it connects the unique cultures of each village.
In recent years, the Santhang Night Market has become as lively as the daytime market. It serves as a hub for trade and a place to preserve traditional cultural values.
The annual Changting Temple Festival began Saturday morning in Vingbao District, Haiphong City, marking the 439th anniversary of the renowned scholar Nguyễn Bình Khiem's passing. The festival honors Changting Nguyễn Bình Khiem's contributions while fostering appreciation for Vietnam's cultural heritage and scholarly traditions. In addition to traditional rituals, the festival features cultural and sporting events, including folk singing, tug-of-war, and boat racing. These activities help Haiphong promote tourism and draw visitors from both Vietnam and abroad. The Changting Temple, recognized as a special national heritage site by the Prime Minister in 2015, will host festivities through Sunday. Hanoi is showcasing two unique UNESCO-recognized cultural heritage, the Ten singing tradition of the Tây, Nung, and Thai ethnic groups, and the Cham ceramic art. This exhibition, which opened on Friday night at the Hanoi Center for Culture and Arts, offers visitors a chance to immerse themselves in these rich cultural traditions. Visitors can interact with 10 singers, Cham ceramic artisans, experts, researchers, and members of the heritage holding communities. The event primarily aims to promote tourism in ethnic regions and mountainous areas, while also raising community awareness about the importance of preserving these UNESCO-recognized intangible cultural heritage. The ancient pottery village of the Manom ethnic group in Yang Thao Commune, Đắk Lắk province, was once at risk of extinction due to poor sales. Now the village is thriving through a combination of tourism and traditional craft preservation.
In Yangtao Commune, Lak District, Duklak Province, visitors can watch women crafting traditional ceramics by hand from local clay. Their distinctive pottery stands out from other ceramic villages with its unique colors and designs.
With support from local authorities and tourists, our pottery village has preserved its traditional craft and increased its income. I hope the products reach a wider market, boosting the economy and encouraging cultural preservation.
To preserve the pottery craft village, the local government partnered with businesses in 2024 to refine production and evaluate the mother-holding children jar, which earned a 3-star OCOP rating at the district level.
The commune helps pottery-making households access policies and capital to develop the local pottery industry.
Looking ahead, we plan to promote these products in the market and attract tourists, as well as offer training classes to the younger generation to preserve the traditional pottery craft of the local people.
The local government has designated land for the construction of craft villages. This initiative will attract tourists, drive socio-economic growth, boost local incomes, and help preserve and promote cultural heritage.
Coming up next in our world news. U.S. missile defense system intercepts Houthi attack on Israel. And NATO to boost Baltic Sea's presence. Now moving on to our world news, the U.S. Terminal High Altitude Area Defense Missile Defense Systems successfully intercepted a ballistic missile fired by Houthi forces in Yemen toward Israel on Friday night. This marks the system's first interception of a Houthi-launched missile since its deployment in Israel this October. The interception occurred during Israel's air campaign against Houthi positions in Yemen on the night of December 26, which is considered the largest Israeli attack on Houthi targets in Yemen to date. In retaliation, the Houthi forces immediately launched missiles into Israeli territory. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte announced on Friday that the military alliance will increase its presence in the Baltic Sea. This statement followed a power outage affecting an underground cable linking Finland and Estonia. Police forces in both countries are investigating the incident, which is believed to have been caused by sabotage. The NATO Secretary General expressed his readiness to support the investigation and emphasized NATO's solidarity with its allies. He also condemned any act that targets the essential infrastructure of member countries. German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier has announced the dissolution of the country's lower house of parliament. This move paves the way for an early election in February. Steinmeier's decision comes after Chancellor Olaf Scholz lost a vote of confidence in the legislature on December 16, after the Free Democrats withdrew, stripping his government of its parliamentary majority. The Social Democrats, led by Scholz, are currently in third place in the polls, far behind both the Christian Democratic Union and the far-right Alternative for Germany. Scholz will continue as acting chancellor until a new government is established. NASA, a United States space agency, announced Friday that its Parker Solar Probe was safe and operating normally after completing the closest approach to the Sun ever achieved by a human-made object. More to follow.
On December 24th, the spacecraft flew within 6.1 million kilometers of the solar surface, entering the Sun's outer atmosphere, called the corona, on its mission to help scientists learn more about Earth's closest star. Racing at speeds up to 692,000 kilometers per hour, the spacecraft withstood temperatures reaching 982 degrees Celsius.
Really an amazing achievement to be here today, to know that we created the technologies that got us there, and then to be able to delve into our understanding of how the sun works and how the sun operates in such a detailed way, right? We're rewriting the textbooks on how the sun works with this data and with the information that we get from this.
The Parker Solar Probe, launched in 2018, has been spiraling closer to the sun by using Venus flybys that gravitationally pull it into a tighter orbit.
As the solar maximum sort of ramps down, as we continue to get activity off of the sun, we're going to be wanting to do more and more flybys and hopefully capture some real unique events.
The spacecraft will transmit detailed data about its status and findings on January 1st. Scientists hope this mission will reveal how solar material reaches temperatures of millions of degrees, identify the source of solar wind, and explain how energetic particles accelerate to near-light speeds.
Now, as usual, we'll move on to the weather forecast. And that's all the news we have for this hour. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.